Indeed, so many of the things that we're going through right now are an attack on, in a way that you see in third world countries, an attack on the president's enemies. Let's, begin investigating people who really haven't done anything wrong, but just the president wants revenge on them for things that they've said about him or worked against him.
We are back live at the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago with Illinois Governor GOV Pritzker. There was so much in this speech, I think, that is worth digging into because it tells us a lot about the moment we're living in, and you were living in as a governor and a person who lives rent-free in Donald Trump's head. Today, President Obama spoke about the importance of an independent judiciary, a robust press. He talked about a belief that our military and law enforcement owe allegiance not to any president, but to the Constitution. And you have experienced the threat that the current occupant poses to our country. As someone who doesn't believe in those things, what should people know and understand about why that was so important for former President Obama to talk about today and how it still exists right now?
There are young people who really don't know what it's like to have a judiciary that's independent of the presidency or a Congress that will stand up to a president, again, independently, because we have neither one of those, at least not at the Supreme Court, not in the United States Congress. And so I think it was very important to hear from the mouth of the last, Democratic president who's built a museum, a library, a center here, that we should have that again. And indeed, so many of the things that we're going through right now are an attack on, in a way that you see in third world countries, an attack on the president's enemies. Let's, begin investigating people who really haven't done anything wrong, but just the president wants revenge on them for things that they've said about him or worked against him. So I was very, very glad to hear him expound about that. And I must say, we've seen too much lately of the kind of let's prosecute. The DOJ is going after politicians and others that the president just doesn't like.
Today, my colleague Jacob Severoff, to that point, asked Governor Gavin Newsom and his wife Jennifer about the Trump administration's investigation into them. I just want to play that for people in case they haven't seen it.
We heard from the governor, but we haven't heard from you yet about this investigation. What do you want to say?
I'm just so grateful for this inspiration and leadership. We need more of this.
Hey, this is stuff that happens in other countries. That's all I'll say. Happens in other countries. Who wants to go after me, go after me.
Do you worry he's going to find a way to investigate you? Is that something you think about?
I don't think about it. It's not like a daily thought. I certainly, when I look at Gavin Newsom, when I look at Tim Walz, these are two very strong governors who've spoken out against the president consistently, as I have. All three of us have been threatened in one fashion or another. As you know, the president said he wanted to jail me, but he's trying to trump up something against the Newsoms. He's trumped up something against the Walzes. He's using Todd Blanche, who may become the next attorney general, to go after people. And that is not the way the DOJ has ever operated before, at least not in my lifetime, where they're literally, or not since I was a very little kid in Richard Nixon, going after people because the president just doesn't like them. And so that's where I think we all have to stand up and speak out. It's not about protecting me or other governors. It's about protecting the rule of law in this country.